Good morning students, welcome to the English class. Today's class is dedicated on our writing section, and in our writing section we have a topic that is formal letters. So, first of all we will move to our formal letters topic. Okay. So, students, the question is, what are formal letters? As I was telling you the topic, formal letters. So, first we have to understand that certain letters which are written in an official manner, in a manner where the person to whom we are addressing the letter is at a formal designation, and there we are being trying to put our thoughts in front of it, or maybe it must be having certain purposes. There are different purposes for writing a formal letter. Okay. So, let us move further to understand what these formal letters are for. Okay. So, the formal letters are written as to officials, to editors and to businessmen. Okay. So, first of all let us see which letters are being written to officials. Okay. First is for making requests, different kinds of requests can be there. Okay. Another for making complaints, for if you want to raise a complaint, okay, then maybe to the municipal corporation or maybe to the superintendent of police, or there can be different officials to whom we want to make a complaint. Okay. Then suggestions or sending applications. So, this is another area where we write official letters. Okay. So, these officials are being sent different sets of letters, okay, with different purposes. Now, let us move to the next section of our formal letters, which are being written to the editors. Now, editors, so editors can be of a magazine, maybe of a local newspaper, evening newspaper, or it can be of national daily newspaper. Okay. So, the purpose of writing a letter to editor can be of like for expressing public opinion, okay, and views, and another reason can be for registering the protest against a particular aspect which you feel like that you are having a you want to protest against it, against that particular aspect. Okay. So, in this manner we write the letters to editors. Okay. Now, another set of letters, formal letters are being written to businessmen. Okay. So, these businessmen, they can be firms, they can be shops, they can be individual, maybe a publishing house or a manufacturing company, it can be anything. Okay. So, the firms and individuals on business matters. Now, for business matters you can ask, you can have an inquiry for a particular set of product, or you can place an order, or you can ask for quotations. So, there can be different purposes for writing a letter to a businessman. Okay students, now let us discuss a format, a layout, how we will write a formal letter. So, students, the layout of a formal letter will be having these certain points which are to be included in a proper setting. Okay. That aspect, that layout we will look further. First we will discuss all these topics. Okay. First is the heading. Okay. The heading will be comprising of the name of the person to whom we are addressing the letter to. Okay. Like to the editor or to the manager, like this. Okay. So, then the receiver's address will be followed by that. Okay. After that there will be a salutation or greeting like respected sir or dear sir, like this. Okay. After that we will start with the body of the letter. Okay. Now, after the body of the letter, when it will be completed, then there will be a subscription, or we say a courteous leave taking. Okay. So, in that subscription we write like yours faithfully or yours truly, like this. Okay. Then finally the signature of the writer, if that means if you are addressing someone, then you would sign like that. And if the question gives you your you to be certain person or maybe the secretary of the housing society, like that. So you have a designation and you have a name, so you will sign like that. Okay. So that is how that will be the last part of our formal letter. So students, our first part of the letter, that is the very first thing, is the heading. Okay. So say this is a heading which we have to understand the position of the heading in a particular letter. So the very first thing is here, that is the address here, and then it comprises of the date. The date will be written in an expanded form. See here, 20th January 2014, like this. Okay. But you will be writing 2021 because you will be attempting your board exam. So it will be 2021, like this. Okay. So students, now this was our heading. Okay. And then we will have our receiver's address. So it will be consisting of the name and the complete address of the firm or individual to whom the letter is been sent. Okay. And then it will be place it on the left a few lines below the heading. So after that, after this heading, you will be writing that. No need of punctuation marks at the end of the line in the heading. So in heading, you will not give any punctuation marks. Okay. So let us move further from here and let us see the position here. Okay. So students, let us discuss the layout of our formal letter. So the very first thing will be the heading here, and heading will be the address, your address. Okay. So you are the sender and your address will be the first thing which will come as the heading. Okay. Then it will be the receiver's address. It will comprise of its name, designation and the address. Now in this heading only, after the address, your address, you will write the date also. It will comprise of date also. Okay. And then it will be the salutation, and later it will be the body of the letter will be there, and finally it will be subscription and the signature of the writer. Okay. So students, now let us take up all these points one by one. The first thing is the heading. Okay. So it consists of the writer's address. That means if you are the writer, your address will be there and the date will be there. It will be placed on the upper left hand corner of your letter. Okay. We will see the position in the next aspect. Okay. So there is no need of punctuation mark. That is another aspect which you have to take care, that at the end of that heading you will not place the punctuation mark. No comma is required, and then you will leave a line in between the date and the address. Okay. Like see here. Yes, see the heading, how we will write it here. This is your address here, and there is no punctuation mark at the end of the line. Okay. And then leave one line gap in between, and then it will be followed by the date in expanded form. Okay. Like the complete name of the month will be in complete form, it will not be in a short form. Okay. And then it will be 20th January 2014. So it will be somewhere, whenever you will be giving your exam, it will be 2021, like this. Okay. So here in the date you will use a comma here after the month. Okay. And rest later on you will not use any punctuation mark. Now this heading will be followed by the receiver's address. Okay. Now, so it will be consisting of the name and the complete address of the firm or the individual to whom you are writing the letter. Then it will be placed on the left a few lines below the heading. Okay. And then again there is no need of the punctuation mark at the end of the line. Okay. Now let us see the position of the our receiver's address. Okay. See here heading we have already written. Okay. Then it will be followed by the receiver's address. So we will address the person to whom we are sending the letter, like the manager. Okay. Now there is no comma after the manager, there is no need for punctuation mark. Okay. Then it will be followed by his address. Okay. And then we will move further to our next part of the letter, that will be the salutation. So you will place the salutation at the left hand margin of the letter, one line below the receiver's address. So we will leave one line gap and then we will write the salutation. For people not known, that means we do not know the manager of the firm, okay, we do not know them personally. So we will use the salutation as dear sir or madam, okay. And for the people who are known to us, okay, it can be dear Mr. Jones or dear Mrs. Rose, Messrs. Lee, Scott, etc. like this. So we will address by name, we will not address by designation, okay, like this. Now one more aspect, that for the editor of the newspaper we use sir or madam, not dear sir, okay, we will just simply use sir or madam. So now let us move to the position of this salutation. We see here, this is the salutation, we have already taken up these two parts, heading and the receiver's address, and then that is dear sir, and then we will place a comma here, okay. And we will, the next part is the body of the letter, to which we will move further. So the body of the letter contains the following aspects, okay. First, the business heading or the subject, and then an opening sentence will be there, the subject matter will be written, what exactly you want to convey to the person, and then there will be a concluding sentence, okay. So now let us move further here with the subject first of all. The subject with which the letter deals is indicated by a business heading that is written below the salutation, okay. The business heading subject is underlined, okay. The subject should be relevant and concrete, we should avoid any vague expressions. So it should be very crisp one, okay, like see here. Now we have already done the salutation, now comes the subject here, subject replacement of washing machine. So this is a very crisp kind of subject where we have been writing the, for what reason we are writing this letter in a very summarized manner, okay. Now after that we will come to the subject matter, like I bought a semi-automatic washing machine, okay. Now let us move to the next section of our body of the letter. That is the opening sentence. So there must be an opening sentence, and there either in response to an earlier communication or quoting a reference to the topic of the letter. So what we have to write in this letter is that in reference to the communication which held earlier, or if you had a conversation on telephone, so in reference with the telephonic conversation which we had. So like this, so we will refer in that opening letter, we will refer to a previous conversation or relate it to the previous things, okay. Then so see, look here for the opening sentence, this has reference to your letter dated so and so, like this, like 10th January 2015, or thank you for your letter dated so and so. So what we need to do is we start the letter with a previous reference. I wish to apply for the position of advertise in the Sunday Mirror. So in this manner also we refer to a particular advertisement like this. This can be also a possibility depending upon the situation, whatever is being presented in the question, okay. I would like to inquire about. So if you are writing a letter for inquiries, then you can start the letter like this. Now let us move to the next part here, that is the subject matter of the letter. Now the body of the letter contains the main subject matter, okay, and we need to write 2 to 3 paragraphs depending on the varied content. Whatever the content you want to include, you can divide that content in 2 to 3 aspects, okay. So first you need to introduce the subject in the first paragraph. So first paragraph will be your introductory paragraph, where you will introduce what subject, what is the basic subject which you have mentioned above, and then you will give a detail of that subject, okay. In the second paragraph, elaborate the points concerned with that subject. Suppose you are facing certain problems, so the details of what all experiences you had, what all complaints you have, what inquiry exactly you want to make, and all those details will be in the second paragraph, okay. And the third paragraph will be the sum up, that means the concluding aspect of that particular subject matter. Now let us move to the concluding sentence. Now the letter should end with a proper concluding sentence. It varies according to the topic of the letter. So we have different ways of concluding a letter. Okay, let us look for how we can just a sample here, 2-3 samples I am just explaining you. Okay, we expect a positive response from your department. Okay, and another can be, I will be grateful if my application is favorably considered. So, like if you are suppose applying for a job, then in that case you can write this concluding sentence, or else I am anxiously waiting for a favorable reply, or I am expecting a needful action from your side, like this. So, these can be the various concluding statements which could be written as the last line of your body of the letter. Okay. Now the next part is the subscription, that means you are taking a leave from the letter. Okay. So, if salutation, then subscription. So, sir and madam, or dear sir or madam, or dear sirs. So, we will write yours faithfully. According to the salutation, it will be decided what will be the subscription. Okay. So, in these 3 cases we will use yours faithfully. Dear Mr. Green, dear Mr. Rose, that means you know the person. Okay. Then yours sincerely. If you know the person, then you will subscribe as yours sincerely. Here there will not be any apostrophe comma. Okay. Please keep in your it is just a matter of great like you have to take care of this aspect, that you do not put a apostrophe comma over here. Okay, yours will be a complete word. Now, in the case when you do not know the person you are addressing to, then it will be yours faithfully. Okay. Now, after the subscription, we will come to the signature or the name of the writer. Comes below the subscription, now it contains the sender's full name. Okay. Whosoever is the sending the letter, that means according to question, whosoever are you been representing. Okay. So, that will be the sender. There is no full stop after the name. So, there won't be any punctuation mark here. Okay. So, see here the position. Now, you have already written the subscription yours faithfully, and later you will just write your signature, that means your name, full name. It should be a complete name. It should not be only first name. It should be a complete name, and then there will not be any punctuation mark. So, now students, we have already discussed the format here. Now, let us move to our samples which I want to discuss here along with the format, so that you will come to know about how to write a few of the formal letters. So, students, now let us discuss the formal letters. For the first letter will be the letter to the editor. Okay. So, let us see the question here. Okay. Now, nowadays we see the rise in price of edible things like pulses, onions, oils and some other products. The layman is facing hardship on account of it. Write a letter in 100 to 120 words to the editor of a reputed daily means national daily newspaper which has been published on daily basis. Okay, requesting him to highlight the difficulties faced by common man due to rise in prices. Sign yourself as Pranjal or Parinita, living at 124 Vivek Vihar, Delhi. Okay. So, now this letter will be written to an editor. Okay. Now, the letter is basically on the subject that it is the prices of all the various basic commodities is been going high, and lots of problems are being faced by common people. So, that has to be described here in this letter. Now, let us move ahead here from here. So, the first is your address. So, you are the sender. So, your address is being given here in the question. You have to follow this. Okay. 124 Vivek Vihar, Delhi. So, you will follow it like this, 124 Vivek Vihar, Delhi. Then it will be followed by the date, 13th June 2021. Okay. Then leave one line gap, and then it will be the senders. We will address the sender. Okay. the receiver. Okay. So, we will address the receiver here, the editor, the Times of India, New Delhi, okay, like this. Now, after that the subject, see there is this is optional aspect, we can place the subject even after the salutation or it can be even before the salutation, there is nothing wrong in both the things, okay. So, we can have this kind of aspect also. Now, see here what all we have done up till now, we have done the address of the sender, then the date and then the designation and the address of the receiver. So, first the designation, the editor and then the address of the receiver, that means the Times of India, New Delhi, like this, okay. Now, in the subject we have addressed the problem, what problem exactly we want to bring in the notice of that editor, okay. Now, after that salutations, we have already seen to the when we write a letter to editor, we will just write sir or we can write madam in case it is a female person. Now, after that the very first we will come to the body of the letter. So, first line sentence, first part of this body, that means the first paragraph will be the purpose of writing the letter, we will introduce with the purpose, okay, with the subject, okay. Through the columns of your esteemed daily, I would like to bring to notice the ever increasing burden of rising prices of edible things and other products on the common man. So, in this manner, see this is a very formal way of starting a letter to the editor. Through the columns of your esteemed daily, I would like to bring to the notice. So, in this manner we write the letter and later on what we want to bring in the notice is, that is what exactly the subject on which we want to write the letter, okay. Now, later on we will start discussing this particular subject in detail, okay. See here the second paragraph of the body, that is the more important details, okay. So, in an issue that has been raised time to time even by the media, but then also it never gets the proper attention. The rise in prices of edible things and other commodities is beyond imagination. However, a country should be sensitive to the hike of price in the essential products like pulses, onions, oils, etc. These are consumed by the poorest of poor, must not be allowed to cross a certain level of price. So, in this manner what we have discussed? We have discussed the problem which is being faced by the common man because of the rise in the prices of these commodities, okay. Now, we are giving certain suggestions and solutions in the second part, in the third paragraph here. See here, the government has definitely come up with various policies to ensure the security of basic commodities for the common man, but its implementation is still questionable. So, what we have? We are just coming up to the that there are certain policies, but still they are not been implemented well. I would appeal to the concerned officials to look into the matter and take necessary actions in this regard. I hope that the authorities would take stern action to regulate the prices so that the empty pockets of the poor would not be exploited. So, this is how the suggestion and a request for a needful action and to look into the particular matter so that the problem which we have just been we have discussed here will be solved, okay. So, in this manner we just conclude the letter, okay. Now, after concluding the letter we will move to the last part of the last section of our letter, that is the complimentary dose or clause, that is the subscription, okay. So, complimentary clause here will be yours truly, and after that it will be followed by a comma here. So, we need to punctuate here after the after writing yours truly, and then it will be the signature or the name of the sender, okay. So, you have to address yourself, you do not never write your own name in the answer sheet, okay. It is not to be done at all, okay. you have to follow the name which has been given to you in the question. Okay. So, either you will write Pranjal or Parinita accordingly. Okay. So, this is how we will write the letter to editor. Now, let us discuss one more of the letters here, that is letter of inquiry. Now, letter of inquiry will be written, see here the question, you are Ram, Rita, PET, ABC Public School, Jammu. You have read an advertisement in a newspaper by National Tourist Corporation offering reduction in fares for group tours. Write a letter in 100 to 120 words to inquire about the following. Okay. So, the question is giving you what sorts of different inquiries you have to make here. Now, reduction allowed or offered. Any additional reduction on two-way tickets, minimum number of passengers in one tour, destinations being offered and time slot. So, these are the different sets of inquiries which you have to make in this particular letter. Now, following these clues which you have got from the question, we will start writing the letter here. So, we will start with the address of the sender, that means ABC Public School, Sardar Road, Jammu, like this. Okay. Then followed by the date in an expanded form. So, 10 November 2021, it will be 2021. Okay. Whatever the date is, you can write accordingly. Okay. Then the designation and the address of the receiver. So, the general manager, this is the designation here of the firm, and the firm is National Tourist Corporation, Delhi. Okay. Now, after that we will move to the subject here. The subject is inquiry about discount offered in group fares. So, that means this letter will be an inquiry about a tour which has to be conducted by a school, and you are asking to a touring a firm which is offering a discount on a group tour. Okay, when there are number of people who are going for a tour. Okay. Now, then there will be salutation. Now, here salutation, since we will use sir or madam. Okay. This is with reference to your advertisement in the Hindu dated 5 November 20. Now, here the year will be 2021 or whatever. 2021 it will be the year for you. Okay. About reduction in fares for group tours. So, this is the first information inquired that you have given the first introductory line here. Okay. Now, the second part will be your body, where you will mention all the purpose of the inquiry and the information needed you will ask for that. Okay. So, our school regularly organizes group tours for our students, teachers, and therefore, I am interested in knowing the following details from your company. So, now you will list down the various aspects, points which are required to be inquired by you. Okay. So, the first is reduction or the discount offered by you, and additional reduction offered if booking is made for two-way tickets. Okay. And then the third point is the reduction offered to subjected to minimum number of passengers in a tour. Okay. Then any specific destination to which such reduction is offered, is there any specific time slot for the reduction being offered. So, you have asked all those as points here in your inquiry, like this in a question format. Now, there will be last sentence will be, you will be expressing your gratitude, or you will be thanking the person who will be answering you. Okay. So, that will be your concluding sentence. So, I would appreciate if you let me know the above details at the earliest. So, in this manner we will conclude our body of the letter. Now, the rest part will be the last section of our letter, that is the complimentary clause, that means subscription. Okay. So, yours faithfully. And then it will be your signature or the name of the address. So, you will write the name of the person which has been given in the question that you are representing to. Okay. So, here it will be Ram or Rita PET, like this. Okay. So, in this manner you will write a formal letter here. So, we have students, we have discussed here two of the letters so that you can follow the format, and we have discussed various aspects of our formal letters. You can go through the PDF, there you will find the samples also. So, rest we will discuss in our live classes also. Thank you, students.